Hey guys, so if you are in the process of deciding to join Being Accelerator and you have the question on your mind, but will this be worth the investment? Then I have some things I want to say to you. The first is I think we can be on the same page with if you're considering whether or not it'll be worth the investment, then you obviously know that it's something you want to do. And if you knew that it was worth the investment, then it would make sense for you to just do it. Okay, cool. So that's kind of where you're coming from if you're asking this question. So that's good to see. Will it be worth the investment? Now let's think about why a person would ask that question, why you might be asking that question. You might be asking it because it's important to you that if you're going to invest your money in this, you're going to invest your time in this, you're going to invest your energy in this, that you get a return on that investment. And I am a stand for that, right? If we're going to invest our money, our energy, our time, we want to get a return for it. Good, smart investing. But also the question comes from a place of thinking the determining factor on whether or not I will get a return on my investment is in that thing out there. This property that I put my money into, this stock or bond that I put my money into, this coaching group opportunity that I put my money and time and energy into. Is that a thing? Is that thing as it stands out there, which is a fixed and static thing that's separate from me, is that thing the thing or a thing that will get me a return on my investment? That's typically where a person comes from when they ask this. And what I like to point out is that in most cases in the world, you invest in a paper asset or a piece of property or an object, an experience. That thing is going to be a big part and maybe almost all the part of what determines your return. You don't have much to do with it once you've invested in it in most things. But for a coaching program, maybe the most thing in the world that you could invest into where it's reversed, it's flipped. That actually, the thing that's going to determine the return that you get on your investment in a coaching program is mostly up to you. So, of course, the external has a role to play. But when a person is asking this question, if you are asking this question, my coaching for you is for you to think about how much of why I'm asking this question is about that thing out there, in this case being Accelerator and me as your coach, and how much of it is actually about your lack of certainty into how committed you're going to be to create the results that you want that would be, for you, a worthwhile return on your investment. A story I like to share when this question comes up is when I first hired my current coach, Steve Hardison. His fee now is $200,000, right? $200,000 you pay up front, boom, that's what it is for 100 hours. And so when I hired him the first time, I wired the money, and then my palms started to sweat. I was like, oh fuck, I'm nervous. What's the thought? What if he dies? Fuck. I just sent him all this money. What if he dies? Gotta figure this out. I knew enough at that stage to not have to go and ask him. I could create the answer for myself. And so upon inquiry and reflection, I realized that my fear was that I wouldn't get a return on my investment because he'd be gone, and without him I couldn't create that. It's like, oh wow, I was putting all of the return of the investment eggs in the basket of him. And so I created the idea for myself that I am so committed to creating a return that I want on my investment that it doesn't matter if he dies. I'll keep flying to Phoenix and sit in his office and be with him and coach myself, read his notes, read his books. I will create the return I want on my investment with or without him. Him being alive and showing up for the sessions is gravy. And so that's an idea that I created, and it's a place I came from. And I was just sharing with the guys in my men's group yesterday, like, one of the things I missed most about going to see my coach is having the day to myself, like just the time that was an expression of my commitment. The airport, the flights, being alone in the car, the time waiting for the flights, coming back, like that time and space was an expression of my commitment to showing up in such a way where I'm going to create my return on my investment. And so actually, it's the commitment that determines whether or not I will create a return on my investment. Even if my coach is dead, I'm going to get my money's worth. So that is a conversation that can help you to see that if you have the question, is this going to be worth the investment? You might want to look at how much of that question is coming from you not being willing to fully commit to creating a return on your investment. And sometimes it just takes seeing that and be like, holy shit, yeah, I kind of am asking that question with my own hesitancy. Like, am I going to be all in? And once you can see that you had that hesitancy, you can actually close the gap and you say, you know what? I'm going to take that same position. I'm going to actually make a commitment that this is going to be the situation. If you do Being Accelerator, will create more of a return on my investment in Being Accelerator, the investment of my money, my time, my energy, than in anything I've ever created in my life. And simply that will change you. Simply that will change you. You can commit to our work in that way, and you'll get more out of not only our work, but every work you will ever do for the rest of your life, because of the benchmark that you set for yourself on your capacity to create returns on investments. And then the rest of the coaches you hire forever could be dead. Like, hire me while I'm alive. I would love that. We could get to dance. But you could hire dead coaches after that, because you'll get how much you have a role to play in the returns that you create. And you'll take that through our relationship and your commitment and expressing that. You'll take that into everything in your life. And if you haven't done Being Accelerator and you know somebody who has and you want to hear them talk about their experience of this as well, then reach out to me. I'm sure there's plenty of people in the circle, or hit a comment on here. Somebody that's done the circle will probably comment back. But most of all, I want you to really get, if you look at yourself and you look at where this question is coming from, most of it is probably about you. And once you've done that and you've closed that gap, then hey, if the question's about me, then let's get specific. Talk to me. What is it that you're specifically concerned about that I may or may not be able to help you do? Let's not leave that as a question and just like cross our fingers and hope it works. Let's fucking nail it. And then we close your gap, we close any gap between us, and then we know whether or not this is the right thing for you to do right now. I love you. If you want to talk about Being Accelerator, email me. If you enjoy this content and you can use these ideas in creating your own life and business, subscribe to my channel, hit the like, thumbs up, share with your friends. Much love. Talk to you soon.